Preparing for an order-to-cash O2C at Accenture interview. You've reached Candy Mentor, and this video is for you. We'll walk through 25 key questions you're likely to face. For each question, you'll see a sample answer, followed by the key points to cover. Subscribe, like, and share, and drop a topic request in the comments. Question 1. What is order-to-cash, and why is it important for a business? Order-to-cash is the end-to-end cycle from receiving a customer order to collecting cash and clearing accounts receivable. In an Accenture operations role, I would explain it as order management, credit checks, billing, collections, dispute handling, cash application, and reporting. The goal is not just processing transactions, it is improving cash flow, reducing overdue debt, preventing revenue leakage, and meeting SLA and compliance expectations for the client. While answering, focus on the end-to-end process, starting from customer order and ending with cash receipt. Link O2C to working capital, revenue recognition, customer experience, and process efficiency. Question 2. Walk me through the main steps in the O2C process. I usually break O2C into 8 steps: order capture, order validation, credit check, fulfillment, billing, collections, cash application, and reconciliation. For example, once a valid customer order is received, the team checks pricing, credit limits, tax details, and contract terms. After delivery, an accurate invoice is issued. Then collections follows up. Payments are matched to invoices, deductions are investigated, and the customer account is reconciled. Make sure to cover order entry, credit approval, delivery or service fulfillment, invoicing, collections, dispute resolution, cash application, and account reconciliation. Keep the flow logical and business-oriented. Question 3. What are the key responsibilities of an O2C associate at Accenture? An O2C associate at Accenture is expected to process transactions accurately, follow client-specific SOPs, and support timely cash collection. The role may include invoice review, credit notes, collections follow-up, dispute logging, cash application, AR aging review, and reporting. Just as important, I would communicate clearly with internal teams and customers, meet SLAs, document exceptions, and look for process improvements through automation, root cause analysis, or better controls. In your answer, talk about transaction processing, invoice management, collection support, dispute follow-up, cash posting, reporting, client communication, SLA adherence, and continuous improvement in a shared services environment. Question 4. What is accounts receivable aging, and how would you use it in collections? Accounts receivable aging shows unpaid customer invoices grouped by how long they have been outstanding, such as current, 1 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, and over 90 days. In collections, I would use it to prioritize high-value and high-risk overdue accounts. Older balances need stronger follow-up, dispute checks, and escalation. Aging also helps management understand cash flow risk, monitor collection efficiency, and reduce days sales outstanding. Be sure to mention aging buckets, overdue invoices, prioritization, risk assessment, collection strategy, escalation, and how AR aging helps improve DSO and cash forecasting. Question 5. What is DSO, and why do O2C teams track it? DSO, or Days Sales Outstanding, measures how many days on average it takes to collect cash after a sale. A common formula is accounts receivable divided by credit sales, multiplied by the number of days. If DSO rises, cash is tied up longer and working capital pressure increases. In O2C, I would track DSO by customer, region, and collector to identify slow payers, process delays, disputes, or billing issues. While answering, define Days Sales Outstanding, explain the basic formula, and connect it to cash conversion, collection performance, customer payment behavior, and working capital management. Question 6. How would you handle a customer who says they did not receive the invoice? First, I would verify the invoice number, date, amount, PO reference, and customer account. Then I would check whether the invoice was sent through email, EDI, or a customer portal. If the customer genuinely did not receive it, I would resend the invoice immediately and confirm the correct billing contact. I would also document the reason for delayed payment and update master data or delivery settings to avoid repeated non-receipt issues. Make sure to cover verification, invoice copy sharing, checking email or portal delivery, confirming billing contact details, documenting the interaction, and preventing the same issue in future cycles. Question 7. What is cash application in O2C? Cash application is the process of matching incoming customer payments to the correct open invoices in the AR ledger. Ideally, the customer provides remittance details showing which invoices are being paid. If information is missing, the payment may go to unapplied cash until investigated. Accurate cash application is critical because it clears receivables, prevents unnecessary collection follow-ups, improves aging accuracy, and supports clean month-end reporting. In your answer, explain matching customer payments to open invoices, handling remittances, unapplied cash, short payments, overpayments, and why accurate posting matters for collections and reporting. Question 8. How would you deal with unapplied cash? For unapplied cash, I would first review bank details, customer references, payment amounts, and any remittance advice. Then I would compare the payment with open invoices, recent collection notes, and customer payment patterns. If the match is still unclear, I would contact the collector, sales team, or customer for clarification. The objective is to post cash quickly and accurately because unapplied cash can distort AR aging and collection priorities. Be sure to mention checking remittance advice, bank references, customer history, invoice amounts, communication with collectors or customers, timely posting, and escalation for unidentified receipts. Question 9. What is a credit memo, and when is it issued? A credit memo is a document issued to reduce the amount a customer owes. It may be raised for product returns, duplicate billing, incorrect pricing, tax errors, service issues, or approved commercial adjustments. In O2C, I would ensure the reason is valid, supporting documents are attached, and required approvals are obtained before posting. Credit memos directly reduce receivables, so strong controls are important to prevent revenue leakage. While answering, define credit memo. Explain common reasons like returns, pricing errors, billing corrections, service issues, and mention approval controls before reducing customer receivables. Question 10. What is the difference between a dispute and a deduction? A dispute occurs when the customer disagrees with an invoice, maybe due to price, quantity, tax, delivery, or service issues. A deduction usually happens when the customer pays less than the invoiced amount and claims a reason, such as a discount or damaged goods. In both cases, I would capture the reason code, collect evidence, coordinate with sales or logistics, and either resolve it through payment, credit memo, or write-off approval. Make sure to distinguish customer disagreement from actual short payment. Cover dispute reasons, deduction investigation, root cause tracking, documentation, and the impact on collections and cash application. Question 11. How would you prioritize your collection follow-ups for the day? I would prioritize based on a combination of value, age, risk, and urgency. High-value overdue invoices and accounts over 60 or 90 days would come first, especially if they affect month-end cash targets. I would also follow up on broken promises to pay, credit hold accounts, and invoices close to dispute deadlines. A structured work list helps collectors stay focused, instead of treating every overdue invoice the same. In your answer, talk about aging, invoice value, customer risk, promised payment dates, disputes, credit hold accounts, month-end targets, and SLA-based prioritization. Question 12. What would you do if a customer promises to pay but repeatedly delays payment? I would first check the payment history and document every promise to pay date. If the customer repeatedly misses commitments, I would contact them to understand the reason, cash constraints, invoice dispute, internal approval delay, or missing documents. Then I would escalate based on the client's collection policy, possibly involving the sales team or credit control. I would stay professional but firm, because repeated delays directly affect cash flow. Be sure to cover documenting promises to pay, follow-up discipline, understanding root causes, escalation, credit control, payment plans, and maintaining professional communication with the customer. Question 13. How do billing errors affect the O2C process? Billing errors create problems across the entire O2C cycle. If an invoice has the wrong price, tax, quantity, PO, or customer details, the customer may reject it or delay payment. That leads to disputes, credit memos, rework, and higher DSO. I would not treat billing errors only as corrections. I would look for root causes such as master data issues, contract misinterpretation, or manual entry mistakes. While answering, link billing errors to delayed payments, disputes, credit notes, customer dissatisfaction, revenue leakage, rework, SLA misses, and the need for root cause prevention. Question 14. What controls would you expect in an O2C process? Good O2C controls protect revenue, cash, and customer data. I would expect credit limits before order release, invoice validation before billing, approval workflows for credit memos and write-offs, and segregation of duties between billing, collections, and cash posting. Master data changes should be reviewed and documented. Reconciliations, exception reports, and audit trails are also important, especially in a client service environment like Accenture, where compliance and process consistency matter. Make sure to mention approval workflows, segregation of duties, master data controls, credit limit checks, invoice validation, write-off approvals, reconciliations, audit trails, and exception reporting. Question 15. What is the role of master data in O2C? Master data is the foundation of a clean O2C process. Customer name, billing address, payment terms, credit limit, tax setup, email contact, and bank details all drive order processing, invoicing, collections, and cash application. If master data is wrong, invoices may be rejected, payments may be delayed, or cash may be posted incorrectly. I would treat master data accuracy as a preventive control, not just an administrative task. In your answer, discuss customer master data, billing addresses, payment terms, credit limits, tax details, bank details, contact information, and how errors create downstream process failures. Question 16. How would you explain the difference between O2C and P2P? O2C and P2P are opposite sides of business operations. O2C is the revenue cycle. We sell to customers, issue invoices, collect cash, and manage receivables. P2P, or procure to pay, is the purchasing cycle. We buy goods or services from vendors, receive invoices, process payables, and make payments. In simple terms, O2C focuses on money coming in, while P2P focuses on money going out. Be sure to clearly contrast revenue cycle versus procurement cycle. Mention customers, sales, invoices, collections, cash receipts for O2C, and vendors, purchases, payables, payments for P2P. Question 17. What KPIs are commonly used to measure O2C performance? Common O2C KPIs include DSO, overdue AR percentage, collection effectiveness index, bad debt, dispute cycle time, billing accuracy, cash application accuracy, and unapplied cash aging. In an Accenture delivery setup, I would also track SLA adherence, turnaround time, productivity, and quality scores. KPIs should not be viewed in isolation. For example, low DSO is good, but not if it is achieved by aggressive collection behavior that damages customer relationships. While answering, include DSO, collection effectiveness index, overdue percentage, dispute resolution time, unapplied cash, billing accuracy, cash application accuracy, bad debt, and SLA compliance. Question 18. How would you handle a high-volume month-end close in an O2C team? During month-end, I would focus on cutoff, accuracy, and communication. I would prioritize urgent billing, high-value cash posting, unapplied cash clearance, dispute updates, and AR reconciliations. I would monitor the work queue against SLA deadlines and escalate blockers early instead of waiting until the last day. Even under pressure, I would avoid shortcuts because wrong postings or missed cutoffs can affect client reporting and financial statements. Make sure to cover prioritization, cutoff discipline, invoice posting, cash clearing, reconciliations, exception handling, stakeholder updates, SLA monitoring, and maintaining quality under pressure. Question 19. What would you do if the customer claims they already paid an invoice, but it still appears open? I would ask the customer for payment details such as date, amount, bank reference, and remittance advice. Then I would check the bank statement, cash application records, unapplied cash, and whether the payment was posted to another customer account or invoice. If the payment is found, I would arrange correct allocation. If not, I would explain the gap clearly and request additional evidence while keeping collection notes updated. In your answer, mention requesting proof of payment, checking bank receipts, remittance details, unapplied cash, incorrect customer posting, duplicate accounts, and communicating findings clearly. Question 20. How can automation improve the O2C process? Automation improves O2C by reducing manual effort, errors, and turnaround time. Examples include automated invoice generation, customer portal uploads, dunning emails, cash matching, dispute workflows, and dashboards. RPA can handle repetitive tasks like downloading remittances or updating status fields. I would still keep human review for exceptions, complex disputes, and judgment-based decisions. The best automation shifts the team from transaction processing to exception management and analysis. Be sure to discuss invoice automation, auto cash matching, workflow tools, dunning automation, dispute routing, dashboards, exception-based processing, RPA, and the importance of human review for complex cases. Question 21. What experience or skills are useful for O2C roles in SAP or Oracle environments? For SAP or Oracle-based O2C roles, I would highlight comfort with customer account review, invoice lookup, payment status, document numbers, clearing status, and standard AR reports. Strong Excel skills are also useful for aging analysis, reconciliations, and tracker maintenance. I do not need to know every transaction code on day one, but I should understand the process logic, follow SOPs carefully, and learn client-specific systems quickly. While answering, focus on ERP navigation, customer accounts, invoice lookup, payment posting, dispute notes, reports, Excel, attention to detail, process discipline, and learning client-specific tools quickly. Question 22. How would you resolve a dispute related to price mismatch? For a price mismatch, I would compare the invoice against the customer purchase order, sales order, contract, and approved price list. If the invoice is correct, I would share supporting documentation with the customer and request payment. If the invoice is wrong, I would initiate the approved correction process, such as a credit memo and rebill. I would also capture the reason code so recurring pricing issues can be fixed upstream. Make sure to cover comparing invoice price with PO, contract, approved price list, sales order, and customer communication. Mention credit memo or rebilling if the invoice is wrong. Question 23. How do you ensure accuracy while processing repetitive O2C transactions? Accuracy comes from discipline, not just experience. I would follow the SOP, use checklists for key fields, verify customer and invoice details, and avoid making assumptions when information is unclear. For repetitive work, I would manage pace carefully because rushing increases errors. I would also review exception reports, learn from quality feedback, and use maker-checker controls where required. In O2C, small mistakes can delay cash or create customer dissatisfaction. In your answer, mention SOP adherence, maker-checker controls, checklist usage, system validations, exception review, avoiding assumptions, time management, and quality monitoring. Question 24. Tell me about a time you handled a difficult customer or stakeholder. How would that apply to O2C? I would handle it by staying calm, listening first, and separating emotion from facts. In O2C, a difficult customer may be frustrated about a billing issue or repeated collection calls. I would acknowledge the concern, verify the account details, explain what I can do, and provide a realistic timeline. If another team's input is needed, I would own the follow-up and keep notes updated until the issue is closed. Be sure to structure the answer using situation, action, and result. Emphasize listening, fact-based communication, ownership, escalation when needed, and maintaining professionalism under pressure. Question 25. Why do you want to work in O2C at Accenture? I am interested in O2C because it connects finance, customer service, operations, and cash flow impact. Accenture appeals to me because of its large global clients, structured processes, technology-driven delivery, and focus on continuous improvement. I would get exposure to real business problems, not just routine transactions. I am comfortable with targets, documentation, and teamwork, and I want to build strong process expertise while contributing to client outcomes. While answering, connect your interest in finance operations, client service, process improvement, analytics, technology, and Accenture's scale. Show willingness to learn, meet SLAs, and work in a team environment. If you are still with us, congratulations. You are much ahead of the rest and serious about preparing for your interview. We hope we were able to add value to your preparation and create some helpful content. Do not forget to like and share this video. Your small act can do great things for us.